Hey guys, so today I'm going to speak to you about a really important question. And that question is, how much money is enough for you? Just think about that for a few seconds. I've asked so many people that question, and usually that question throws them because they don't expect it. And the sort of answers I get include £1 million, 5 million, 10 million. In fact, one guy said to me, £1 billion. How do you work that number out? Today I'm going to walk you through how you can work out your financial independence number, but how you can do it all the way from your day-to-day budgeting, all the way to what that number could look like for you. Okay? My name's Ken of the Humble Penny and Financial Joy Academy, and what we do on this channel is to give you the tips, the insights, the practical hacks for you to work towards a dream life of financial independence and money joy. Okay, let's jump straight in and start to look at what that number could look like for you. What could be that dream number? Does it have to be in the millions? Well, let's see. Let's go and check it out.
So in order to work out what your financial independence number is, a good place to start is to figure out what your monthly expenses are. So I've got here a tool we've created called the Budget for Life. I'll put a link in it below so you can check it out for yourself. So the Budget for Life essentially is a budgeting tool for people who don't like Excel, but who could benefit from using Excel. So it's created for non-Excel users essentially. So this tool essentially helps you do your budgeting monthly. So feel free to check it out in the links below. So here we've got an incomes tab. Let's say you're in a relationship where one person makes £2,000 a month, one person makes £1,500 a month, total £3,500. And you've got expenses here. Expenses are by categories, giving, insurance, and so on. I've put some numbers in just to make this really easy for us to go through. Let's say you have you pay a mortgage or rent, say £1,000, electricity, gas, internet, and so on. Okay, and this summarizes all your expenses. Let's say all your actual expenses were £2,000 a month. What does that number have to do with your financial independence number? Okay, so I'm going to cut through to another tool which will help us work this out. Okay, so I've created this simple tool here which will help you interpret what that number actually means, or what it could mean for your future. Okay, so let's say you're currently spending £2,000 a month. In order to work out what your financial independence number is, you take that number you've got, multiply it by 12. So in our situation here, 2,000 times 12 gives us 24,000. And then you either multiply that number, that 24,000, by 25, or you divide it by 4%. They really mean the same thing, because 4% comes from 100% divided by the number 25. Now, why are we talking about 4% here? Well, before we explain that 4%, the number you get when you do that is £600,000. So for somebody who currently spends and maybe only needs £2,000 per month for their ongoing monthly expenses, that person, if they kept their lifestyle sufficiently fixed, okay, would require a rough calculation of about £600,000. This assumes that the 4% essentially means that if you withdrew 4% every year from £600,000, 4% of 600,000 is £24,000. If you took out £24,000 every year for your living expenses, you would have 25 years worth of expenses. Now, just imagine if you invested your money over time such that you generated a return of more than 4% after fees every year. So say you generated 7% every year, then theoretically you should never really run out of money. Okay, so that's really fascinating when you think about it, because it then means that the amount that you need for your future life to live a life of financial independence, a life where you're not worried about losing your job, a life where you have enough money always to meet your ongoing expenses, is really driven by your current level of expenses, which is in itself driven by your current lifestyle. Now, this is quite interesting because when you look at I've done some scenario analysis here. So what this is saying is, for somebody who needs £2,000 a month to meet their expenses, i.e. they need that in income to meet their expenses, their freedom number, their financial independence number is £600,000. Now, if their number was a bit less than £2,000, and this is where it gets interesting. Say that number was, let's say, 1,900. Let's say you managed to reduce your expenses by £100 a month. You would need £30,000 less in the future, which is mind-blowing when you think about it. Because you get £30,000 by multiplying £100 a month times 12, and then times by 25. Okay, that's how you get £30,000. So you can see for every £100 you're reducing your expenses by, the freedom pot number you require drops by £30,000, which is really, really fascinating. Let's put that back to 2000. Okay. Now, you might be somebody who might think that 4% might be a bit of an extreme to withdraw every single year. Say you had your £600,000. In that case, if you wanted to be more prudent, you'd need to withdraw a bit less than 4%. I've done different scenarios here for you to consider. So if you needed to withdraw, say, 3% every year, it would mean that you need £800,000. So you can do that here again by just changing that number to 3. You see that number there changes to £800,000. So if 2,000 times by 12 to give you 24,000 divided by 3% will give you £800,000. That's how you get that number. So this very simple analysis gives you an idea of how much money is really enough for you. I.e., for somebody a couple who are making a decent amount of money and who are only spending £2,000 a month, they don't need millions. And this simple analysis for me was mind-blowing because it really showed me that even with a really prudent percentage of withdrawal every year of just 3%, although you need a much higher number, you still don't need a number in the millions. Okay, so put that back to 4% every year. And this is before you've even factored in the possibility that as time passes, you still be working, you still probably have side hustle income, you still have all kinds of various income coming from possibly different assets that you might have invested in over time. So this is really, I think, quite a humbling exercise because it really just shows you that, the media typically tells us that we need, you need to become a millionaire, you need millions, you need, some people even say billions. But to be honest, even if you increase your expenses, even if you made them say 3,000, okay, and you're withdrawing 4%, you'd need 900,000. You're still not at the million level or millions even. Okay, so you can see even if that couple allowed for much more lifestyle expenses, more holidays and so on, and they wanted £3,000 in expenses per month, they'd still only really need about nine. I say only, but what I mean is a pot of £900,000 over time. Now, what's interesting though is let's put that back to 2000 and said, well, how long would it take somebody to be able to save that much money up? Say, in that previous example we had, in a budgeting example, these people were making incomes of 3,500 a month, and they were spending 2,000. So they had 1,500 per month possibly that they could invest. So if we went and did a simple compounding interest analysis, let's say you are somebody who's, say, 30 years old, and let's just hypothetically say the investment period is 30 years, and say you've got £1,500 per month to invest, and we know we're trying to hit that £600,000. How long will it take a 30-year-old over time to hit that number? So I've done the analysis here. You can see from the age of 30, actually let's say you didn't have anything, you started with just your savings of £1,500 a month. So this is a simple compounding interest spreadsheet. I'll put a link below for you to check it out as well. You can see that this individual, if you carried on, you'll be able to see where we'd get to, but I've got this analysis here on the right-hand side that simply tells us how long it would take, okay? So you can see, if we scroll here, at a 7% return, it would take that individual between 15 and 20 years. I mean, to know exactly how long it would take, I just need to scroll down here and look for the number 600,000. You can see there. So that person will be 47.5 years old from the age of 30 to 47, which means it would have taken them 17.5 years at savings of £1,500 to become financially independent. And you can see that that number changes depending on how much your expenses are, as we saw in the previous screen. Okay, we saw that as you reduce your expenses by £100 a month, say you went down to £1,900 here, that person would only need 570,000. Let's say that's £1,800 per month. You need only 540,000. So if we came back to this exercise here where we did a compounding interest and you looked for 540,000, it would mean, say, be around here, it would have taken that individual 46, just above 46, at the age of 46 for them to hit their financial independence number. So from the age of 30 rather, they would become FI in 16 years, which is really, really remarkable. Okay, just by saving that £200 per month. Okay, actually, saying that should be, because they're saving £200 a month, it should be even more dramatic. So by saving £200 a month, it would mean that they now invest £1,700. So let's see how long it would take this 30-year-old to achieve their financial independence number of £540,000. Remember, we've now dropped from 600,000 to around 540 because they dropped their expenses by £200 per month, and we worked out that for every £100 you save £30,000 in the future. So this individual will achieve financial independence at around the age of 45. You can see it's between these two numbers here, which would mean that it would have taken them 15 years from the age of 30 to become financially independent, assuming that they invest £1,700 per month at an annual rate of return, an average annual rate of return of 7% per year in order for them to hit their goal, the FI pot of £540,000, which we had established from this spreadsheet here. Okay, so you can see that, this very simple analysis can really, really be life-changing, and it's something that you should definitely make sure you work out today what your financial independence number is in order for you to start to work towards your own dream life of financial independence.
Hey, I really hope you've enjoyed working out what your financial independence number is. How does it feel? I'd love to know, actually. Let me know in the comments. I know that for me and my wife, it was really, really liberating knowing that that number was not in the millions and millions of pounds. That for me was so game-changing because it just made us realize that, do you know what? That number is actually something we can achieve with a great deal of focus, hard work, and creativity over time. So please let me know in the comments what your financial independence number is. Please share in the comments. I'd actually love to know if it's in the millions and how does it compare to what you thought you needed when we started out at the beginning of this video. So please comment and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, what we do is to give you the tips, the insights, the hacks for you to work towards a dream life of financial independence and money joy. So please make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications button because we're now going to be sharing content twice a week and you get notified as soon as we post our new videos. Thanks a lot and take care, and we'll see you on our next video.